All right, welcome everybody out to today's webinar. In this FB Resurrection webinar, you guys are going to learn the three things that have allowed, we're going to cover three things that have allowed Nate and I to create such a substantial amount of money in such a short amount of time. But first and foremost, as you guys know, we've had a huge affiliate contest for the last week. You guys are going to get some updates as to who's winning there. And Nate's actually going to be doing a video tonight announcing the winners, but we're going to kind of just give you guys a glimpse without really looking into the numbers and doing any last minute calculations of where everybody's at right now. You're also going to learn how you can get on a just stupid value packed webinar. I'm gonna say it that way because it's stupid at the things, ridiculously stupid at the things that Nate has learned in the past 24 hours, as well as myself. So once again, by today's webinar, you're going to learn those three things. You're going to learn how you can get on a Power Pack webinar that has allowed us to create, from 300, 400, 1,000 plus dollars a day, aside of anything else you've already saw. So with that said, first and foremost, I want to hear from Cindy. For those that don't know Cindy, let me just give her a little bit of an introduction. This is a powerhouse woman. They actually call her the wrestling mom or Cindy Bloomer. Some of you may know her. Very influential person in our community. A mentor to me and vice versa. We actually get along very well, and she's helped me understand some things and vice versa. So, for those that don't know the story, she was actually at an event some time ago, and I'm gonna let her tell the whole story, where she just kind of trusted into the universe, and something was sent back to her today. So let me just let her tell the story. Um, Cindy, are you there? Let's see.
I'm
Maybe.
here. Can you hear me?
Good morning or good money, as we say, right? Yeah, I can hear you, Cindy.
Perfect.
So yeah, you
I'm
want to
getting an
just?
echo. Hold on. Let me see if I
No,
can.
I think it's me. Let me mute out. But yeah, go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Okay, that's better, I think. All right. Well, thanks so much for having me on this webinar. And yes, what has happened with FB Resurrection has been amazing in my business. And really, something amazing happened to me today. And it really is quite a story. And I'm going to start by saying it was about, I think it was it was right after the Chicago event, so it must have been in April or May. I went to an event out in Houston that some of my mentors put on. It was an inner power intensive program. Talked getting our own power, testing figuring out our financial thermostat, and figuring out our value. And we did an activity. And in this activity, I don't want to tell you exactly the activity because you may somehow, somewhere be at a place and do this activity. But to make a long story short, in this activity, I lost my iPad. And when I say lost, I meant like gave it up in terms of lost and kind of played a game. And I didn't really feel, I felt bad about it, but I really had learned such a valuable lesson at that event. And the lesson that I learned was about my value and comparing my value as a person to a value of a material item, such as an iPad. And I realized at that moment that I had as much value as an iPad. And by knowing that and realizing my value, I have been able to really take my business into the next level where I wanted it to be, into a higher level, income earning position. Lo and behold, the FB Resurrection contest is going, and there's this contest that you can get an iPad. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna win the iPad. I'm gonna win the iPad, and I really did well with the contest. But I wasn't the top. We had some great people in this contest, and I love working with everybody. And so we had some great affiliates um, doing the contest, and so I didn't come in first. Lo and behold, today I was on a call, and I called in, and guess what? I won an iPad. I was totally blown away. So it was on the Get Rich Radio call, and I called in, talked to Marshall Silver live, asked him some questions, and the question that I asked him was, how do you get by, um, roadblocks that you may have that come your way in your business? And I was particularly talking about a roadblock that I really recently had when I was with several of you guys in Miami, and what how I kind of got myself past that. And I spoke to Marshall about that just a little bit, and he really loved the topic that I brought to the plate. And with that, he said, "Are you a Mac person or a PC person?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a Mac person." He's like, "Well, I'm going to be sending you a brand new iPad for your Mac collection." So I believe that things go in full circle. I believe that there was a reason that whole journey of the lost iPad came, and I just believe when you give and you give and you give, you shall receive. So that was my story. It's been a great, fantastic day. I'm super excited with what is happening with FB Resurrection. My sales are going up, my conversions, my friends, people coming to me from all different angles, and I just really think that it is just a tool that everybody needs. It's really one of the most powerful tools that I have seen in a very long time. So thank you for bringing it to the marketplace. Are you
All right.
still muted,
Yeah,
Jermaine?
yeah, I was muted out. But thank you, Cindy. Like I said, I wanted to hear that story firsthand, and I knew that you would get it back, and I think that you knew that you would get it back one way or another. Which I'm sure you have another iPad, but hey, another one works, right? So thanks for
No, I
sharing.
don't have an iPad,
Oh, really? Okay,
but
that
I
was.
do have a brand new pad that I got, a notepad.
Where,
So
where where did you get that?
I got that from an incredible mentor of mine named Jermaine Steele.
Awesome. I had to toot my own horn there just a little bit, right? I got to do that every once in a while. Well, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you as always. Your growth and your bloom. No pun intended. Your blooming is just amazing to watch. So I'm sure I'll see you soon,
I am sure you will.
in
Thanks a lot.
physical in the near future. So all right, let's get this going, guys. I know that everybody is out here to learn. The three things that we're able to help catapult my and Nate's business, as well as many other people on this call, including Cindy, who you just heard from. There's a bunch of people on this webinar that are getting killer results, and somebody's asking in here, I believe, the name of a software. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but no, it's not a software. It's not a technique. It's not, that. I'm going to cover those three things, but first I want to bring out Nate, and he's going to share part of it, maybe part of his story, and maybe part of what's going on in his business right now. But I want to make sure you're there. Are you there, Nate?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm on the road.
Yeah, we can hear you. Uh huh.
Oh, word, this Mac is setting the game up.
Oh, the Mac. Yeah, you don't need a mic. You just speak right into it. Yeah, man. Um, there we go. Yeah, sounds much better. So I know you've been out and about. You've had a busy day, and you've been helping some people, coaching some people, setting up for our live event, which I'll talk a little bit about later. But did you want to kind of just maybe tell your story and then go over what's going on in your life right now?
Yeah, definitely. You want to read it out because I keep hearing that echo.
Okay, yeah. Let me mute myself out. 1 second.
All right, cool. So I take it you guys, Jermaine, can you type in, tell me yes, you guys can hear me? Okay, awesome. All right, what's going on, guys? As you guys know, I just got back. For those who follow me, I just got back from Denver. We had a concert out there. It was truly, truly amazing, right? My story, my story, my story. Um, again, I know a lot of you guys have already heard a story, but I kind of want to share something totally different with you guys today. And it kind of goes back with some things happened in my life where I always started to feel like I was never really going to be nothing in life. And I felt like I was going to go out that door of just being in jail because of the routes that I took inside of my life, because of the decisions that I've made. I never thought that I myself, Nathan Bryant, could ever be a positive person. I just thought I was going to be this anchored child, this kid who suffered with loneliness sometimes and struggled with anger and always wanted to be aggressive and fight. So I never really thought that I could actually change my life. And because of the failures that I've had inside my life of, getting kicked out of school back to back, and then failing in all my classes, I started just to feel like anything that I ever wanted to do was never going to matter, guys. And truly putting together FB Resurrection is probably one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever had inside of my life. Being the fact that we've helped people literally go from 0 sales to the first 5 sales online, being the fact that someone came in yesterday and he was like less than 2 hours with his multi-level marketing company, he's actually been able to target a certain amount of leads and he's already got people interested inside of his business. And being the fact that I'm behind the scene, one of the persons who've created this product, I look back and I reflect all the things that I've ever failed in my life. And I look at all the times when I thought I was just going to be this angry child forever and all the times I thought I was really just going to be never successful inside of my life. I literally look and I see what Facebook Resurrection has done for the community of the people online, despite the differences of what other people may say and what other people's personal opinions is, there's so many people that has had a great effect from this product alone that makes me happy. If I was to never make a dollar furthermore from this day forth, I would be happy because I've seen people get their first sale. I've seen people hit their first $100. We just had someone join our team yesterday. In less than 1 hour, she made $100. I've seen people get success from this product, and that's what I love about it. And I guess what I'm saying in my story is you can change whatever people ever said about you, whatever people always told you was going to be in life, no matter how close you may hold opinions to your heart, or no matter how many words you're still hurt by, or if people just cursed you out and just made you feel like you're nothing but a complete failure. One thing like this product can outweigh all that bad, meaning everything that anyone's ever said about me, every thought that I've ever had, can no longer deter me because I've seen how good of a person I am and how successful I've become with just using this product alone. So I guess that's the story that I want to tell today, is that I was one of those persons who always lived by people's opinions and lived by what people thought. And now I'm one of those persons who live by my own heart and what I believe and by the value that I know I give. So that's pretty much my story, guys. Was there anything else you want me to cover, Jermaine?
My bad. There's going to be a bit of delay because I just had to unmute myself. But yeah, no, man. I mean, like I said, every time and I know that you have um, a really deep story, right? As do I. And we're not going to sit here and get really deep into our stories. But I love hearing Nate speak. I think that mostly everybody does. And let me go back inside of the group here. Um, but there was always there's always a point for most of us. I can't speak for all of us, but I want to just say, who has or is, struggling, to, let's just say, quote unquote, make it, whatever that means, right? Make it online. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes the actual make it, right, is just staying in the game, is being consistent, is learning, is growing, is knowledge is power, is applied knowledge is power, right? So if you're not struggling, or if you can't admit that you're struggling somewhat, I would say that welcome Terrell in the building. But no, I would just say that you'd be lying to yourself, right? So a lot of people, we struggle in different ways, whether it's mentally, spiritually, financially, belief level. There's all these different things, mindset, techie, right? Some people, they can't even type. So there's always a different type of struggle that we're going to be speaking of. So when I say, who has or is struggling to make it online, trust me, there's some relevancy to why I asked this question. So, I seriously give kudos and commend the people here that are admitting. I mean, seriously, because that's the first step, is to realize that, you know what, I've been in the game, whether it's 2 days or 3 years, and I'm not necessarily getting the results that I want. So I believe, and what I will say is that for me it was belief. I never struggled with the techie. I never struggled with the how to. I never struggled with any of that. But I struggled with the belief, right? So I commend everybody that's in here saying that has or is struggling to make it online. And so I'm not asking you to say whether that's right now. I mean, I'm not asking you to say whether that's in the past. I'm just asking you to say, you know what, yeah, and I'm gonna be the next one to come out here and say yes, right? Um, and once again, there is some relevancy to why I asked this question. And I just want to ask, and I want to get an idea of how long have you been online or marketing in general, right? So, how long have you been going at this, right? I want to make $1 million, or I want to get to 10,000 a month, or I just want to make 1,000 a month so I can quit my $800 a month job, right? So, I just want to ask everybody, and if you could just comment here, how long have you been online or marketing in general, right? And so, there's another question down here. Thank you, Mark. Implementation and processes, definitely flow and blockage and getting through that blockage. So yeah, the mindset is really something I should work on. All right, cool. Well, Chris, I commend you for sticking your neck out and saying that, right? And once again, there's some relevancy as to why I'm asking these questions and who has or is struggling to make it online. We got a bunch of people posted here. We got a year and a half, Cindy, 6 years for Gail. Um, 7 years for Terrell. Been at it for quite a while. And I know some of you guys, and I know that there's a lot of growth individually going on inside of your business. But I also know that some people are not living the lifestyle. They're not living the and I don't mean like extravagant lifestyle. If your lifestyle is like if I just had a 2 bedroom apartment with a nice TV in it, if that's lifestyle for you and you're living in a shack, why are you not growing? Why are you not getting to that point to where you actually can obtain that material object that you're looking for, whether it's a new car, a new house. And once again, moving from a box on the streets, and I'm not mocking or making fun because trust me, I know people that have been there and had to go through that. So, once again, whether you're going from a box to a shack or from a shack to a 3 bedroom apartment, it's all about growth, right? So I believe that people being stagnant is pretty much one of the main things that can make and assisting people going nuts and going crazy. And I don't mean like literally doing crazy things and going out and doing stupid stuff. But Lauren says totally unfocused until Jermaine straightened me out. Well, I appreciate that, Lauren. And once again, I the growth is the key here, guys. And I tell you what, staying plugged in to what's going on, just as Mark said, implementation and processes is the key, right? So if you're not going through that flow and blockage or processes of what's actually needing to take place in your life, then how do you get to where you're going? How do you even know where you're going? Right? So Deborah says working too much on job and need to be able to quit so I can put all my time into marketing. Definitely. Um, I've been there. Except for me, I didn't quit. I got fired. Right? I bought my first house March of 2000. Excuse me. Bought my first house January 2011, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, or actually 3 years ago. Um, Bought my first house, and then 2 months later, I was terminated from a job where I was making 70 grand a year. Right? So I could definitely relate to uh, Nina says getting it a little at a time, but I could definitely relate, guys, to having that job or having that 9 to 5 and having kids running around the house while you're trying to build a business, right? And so, thank you, Mark. Sharika says 10 months, taking it seriously like 5 months ago. Fear and getting in my own way. Gail, that's a very, very powerful thing to do is to tell yourself that you're getting in your own way. And this leads to my next question. Guys, you've been online for 2 years, 10 months, 7 years. You don't have 2 months to waste, let alone 10 or 2 years. You don't have 1 year to waste, let alone seven, right? So my question is why um, are you doing some of, and I'm just, this is a very blunt question here, but I want to ask why, and maybe you're not, and you can say you're not, but why are you doing some of the same things? right? And this is an honest question. I just really, really want to dig deep here and figure out from you guys, or if anybody that's really willing to admit why they're doing some of the same things, right? Like, why are you not doing what Cindy's doing, or why are you not doing what Nate's doing, or why are you not doing what Jermaine is doing? And maybe you are, and you can respond in that fashion. But if you're doing some, if you're set in your own ways and you're not picking up a routine, you're not daily, consistently working on something that's going to be more productive, allow you to leverage your time, create the automation that you need in your business, and better understand people's needs and wants, right? And you wouldn't even know that I just spewed out the three things that have helped Nate and I get to that next level, right? Amongst many other people in our circle, right? Including Cindy and Mark Whitting and, uh, Lauren and, all these other people, Terrell. And the key is growth, guys. But my question is, why are you doing some of the same things, right? Why are you not reaching out to um, individuals that have what you want and seeing what it takes to really, really get next to them and really, really learn what they know, and tell them that you're serious, tell them that you're focused, right? Why? And I'm just asking these questions. And lack of focus. Thank you, Sean. Mental blocks. Thank you, Lauren. I just want some open answers here, guys. I'm not here to beat anybody over the head, but I'm here to say, why are you doing the same things? Terrell says, don't know more to do. Fair enough. Um, fear. No, I'm sorry. Let's see what else we got. Mental blocks. Let me refresh my page. Lack of focus. That was a big thing for me. I was promoting like 18 different things at once and I couldn't make one sale. Terrell says, you've been told me to get and plug in. I didn't make it happen, straight up. Well, once again, guys, it's really, that's the first step, is to recognize where you're at, right? Actually, I'm sorry, the first step is to realize where you were, right? And you're not going to go back. That's what I said. You know what? Nate said the same thing. I've been in the streets. I'm not going back, right? And me, I said, I've had pistols to my head and vice versa, and I'm not going back. And I know that sounds very deep, but it's the truth. And so for me, 12, 13 years ago, I said, I'm not going back, right? I'm going to find whatever it takes. And first I did it in the restaurant and I made a lot of money and I love people, but I said, I'm not going back to where I was. And then I identified where I was at. I was a great person with a lot of value. And I've had a lot of people, including Cindy, help me to establish and realize that value. My sponsor, Desmond, right? Nate, a lot of people on this webinar. And then the next step is to know where you're going, right? So those are three things: where you were, where you're at now, and where you're going, that people need to see, or they're not going to follow you. And that's the key to making money online, is to get people following you. You all are on this webinar listening to me ramble, listen to me rant. You all are on this webinar following Nate, following myself. Those are three things: where you were, get past it, get over it, where you're at now, and let people know where you're going. So I'm gonna give you guys that for some value. But the three things I want to talk about today that I spewed out, and I think you guys might have missed it. So I want to talk about productivity. I'm very big on productivity because those that know me, some people message me at 9 at night and they go, "Hey Jermaine, can I call you?" Or, "Hey Jermaine, can we chat?" And I go, "No, because I'm chilling with family." And I say it very directly because I don't feel bad about saying it, right? So leverage and automation, right? You got productivity, you got leverage and automation, and you got a better understanding of people's needs and wants. All right. And yes, I wrote this down. But I wrote this down because I wanted to let you guys know that what we're teaching, not just inside of this community, but any of our communities, what we're teaching, guys, is how to become more productive, right? So you're not dumbed down. Just like at the job place, if you can only make, and I can only use like a restaurant as an example because that's where I worked. But if you can only make 4 hamburgers in 3 minutes, but I can do 15 in 3 minutes, like, who's gonna win, right? Like, who's gonna move up to the next level as a team supervisor, as an assistant manager, as an associate manager, as a general manager, as a district manager, as I was, right? Who's gonna move up? It's the one that becomes productive. And so, guys, you got to start realizing that, Cater says numbers never lie. You got to start realizing, guys, that we're hitting a point in this industry where this is becoming a profession. This is becoming something that people are going to make and are making a lot of money from, right? A lot of money. So if you're just looking to make your first 23 bucks, I'm going to tell you here very quickly after we go over some updates and a couple of other things, and how you can get on a webinar that's going to teach you exactly how, and this is the tech side of exactly how we're able to create an affiliate income using your Facebook. All right. And we're going to do this webinar tomorrow. This is going to be a members only webinar. But I'm telling you guys, we're not going to hold back. Nate and I spoke by phone earlier. Um, we're not going to hold back. We're going to give you guys something that you could take straight to the bank. We're going to teach you guys how to become a little more productive. All right. We're going to teach you guys, which we teach inside of FBR, but we're going to teach you leverage and automation. All right. Now, automation is probably a very simple concept to understand. And you can think of it in the real world aspect, right? Would you rather, let me ask this question. Would you rather build a fence using a hammer or a hammer gun? Question. Or a screwdriver or screw, a drill, whatever the case may be. Would you rather build a fence using a hammer or a hammer gun? Right? And you know me and my question, Cindy. Yes, I know. It's like duh, right? And that's what people are probably thinking, right? So, but I just want to get some feedback, guys. Come on, engage with me here. Follow me out. Trust me, there's relevancy into what we're going to help you understand. And if you're looking for that just exact method, Jermaine, show me the money. Nate, show me the money. You're going to have to stick around to the end of this webinar. I want to tell you how you can get straight to the money. So, I said a hammer gun. There you go, a nail gun. Thank you. I got a little too excited, but thank you for correcting me. All right, cool. A gun that shoots hammers. There you go. I love it. A nail gun. All right, guys. So the point is that automation and productivity I mean, it's not always going to outweigh everything else because you have quality factors and stuff like that. Like when you're dealing with food, where I was, you're gonna deal with quality. But once again, if you could do a quality burger, 15 of them in 3 minutes, I'm gonna win because I'm that fast. Melvin, there you go, and that's really the next step, or the step you should be at now. Problem with outsourcing is you really shouldn't be outsourcing unless you're making money, or there's a positive ROI, return on investment of putting in that 5 or 100 or $1,000 or whatever it is you're outsourcing. But I agree, Melvin, outsource it. That's the way. Pay someone $8 an hour to build your fence and sit back and drink, a Mai Tai or whatever you drink, or water or coffee while they're building the fence. So I agree, man. Outsource it. Pay someone else to do it. Collect your cut. Well, guess what? That's what we're doing on the internet, guys. We're saying I can build a fence for you, right? And I can do it in a day, and I can get it done very quickly, and it's going to cost you X amount of dollars, 5 grand, right? And then you're saying, all right, well, or and I can put in my efforts, and I can get the nail gun, and I can get a crew, and I can pay people and worry about the whole task, or I can take the 5 grand, I can pay someone 4,500 and make $500 for doing absolutely nothing. So that would be outsourcing, definitely. Um, let me refresh the page here because I just a lot of feedback going on, guys. That's a good sign. There's a lot of people on this webinar. Um, Doug says you get what you pay for. Um, Becky says too busy working on my business to make a fence. Outsource it to someone. Great. What Melvin said, definitely. If you're in, if you have a positive ROI, you're making some money, outsource it. If not, I mean, do it yourself. Um, Kay, I know I am, like Deborah said, my main job keeping me from doing this a lot more. But hey, I'm gonna get it. And that's the thing is you guys will. It's the consistency, it's the understanding, it's hanging around the right people that are not gonna, feed you some crap and get straight to the point. So let me do that. And I really appreciate all the feedback that you guys are giving. Very, very engaging, participate webinar. Um, Lack of self-esteem, Christopher says, tired of losing. Um, all these things can be worked on, guys. Trust me. Every single one of them. Belief, self-esteem, insecurities. Maybe some people, they don't feel loved, or whatever the case may be, guys. As time progresses, if you put yourself in a position where someone could help you, you will get help. But the problem is a lot of times people run they fear help, right? So the third thing that has helped Nate and I to close, to acquire, to mentor, to coach, to help, to assist so many people is just a better understanding of people's needs and wants. And I know there's some people on here that understand this, but let's just do this. What are some needs and wants of people? Like, what do you want? I mean, don't speak for anybody else, but what are some needs and wants? And I'm going to go in for, it's been about 40 minutes or so. We'll close it out in about 20, 25 minutes, guys. So bear with us. But once again, what are some needs and wants of people? And just so you know, if you just chimed in or you came in pretty late on this webinar, by the end of this webinar, you're going to understand how you can get on a webinar tomorrow that's going to change a lot of people's lives. And I'm not being exaggerative. I'm not exaggerating. I'm letting you guys know that tomorrow we're going to open up the book, and this will be for basic FB Resurrection members all the way up. We're not going to hold it back and say we're only going to put in the coaching, we're only going to put in the awakened, upgraded membership. Why? Because we're going to deliver the value first, and you guys are going to see the power in it. And once again, the things that we've learned in the last 24 hours are going to blow your mind. So that's what you're going to know by the end of today, how you can take advantage of tomorrow's webinar. Then you're also going to understand who's winning in the contest. And then we're going to get you guys some links for the webinar tomorrow. And we're going to show you guys how to create an event. Tomorrow's a closed webinar. I'm sorry. We're going to tell you how you can get on tomorrow's webinar. If you're on the email list and you've paid, you're going to get an email tonight or probably a little bit after this webinar inviting you to the exact how-tos of how to create an affiliate income. Wow. So I guess people love talking more about people's wants and needs than food. So I think I'm going to start asking that question at the beginning. Um, this guy. All right, cool. So let's see here. Let me open this up. We got freedom. We got money, time, freedom to spend more time with my family, independence and self-respect, help to others and time, freedom, money and freedom, time and financial freedom, time, freedom, wants, financial freedom to drive targeted traffic for any niche or affiliate product, money, time, fun, money, freedom, more time with family, the ability to give back and help others achieve their dreams, right? So kind of ending with Joe's comment here, health. There you go. It's funny because it's not funny. It's actually pretty sad. But Cater's the only one that said health, right? But the ability to give back and help others achieve their dreams. Well, if Joe's looking to give back and help others to achieve their dreams, what is she looking to help achieve? Freedom, money, time, freedom, to spend more time with my family, independence and self-respect, right? So these are the things that Joe's looking to help people achieve, right? So Nate and I said, you know what? Let's stop trying, because we don't try, we do, but let's stop teaching or talking to people like they're just trying to, have more freedom or trying to, have more time away or time with their family or just living the life and living the beaches of the world. So here's what Nate and I are doing. I'm gonna let him come out a little bit and talk. We're gonna talk a little bit about this. Then we're gonna transition. And people keep piling on this webinar. It's crazy. But we're going to uh, let you guys know. Let me mute myself out. But Nate, if you could just kind of let them know the direction that we're headed at the end of this month, then we'll dive straight into the contest updates. We'll let them know how they can get on that webinar. We'll close this thing out, and we'll get back to business. But yeah, let them know where we're headed at the end of this month.
Okay, what's going on? I feel like this is definitely. Jermaine, can you mute yourself out?
Oh, okay. My bad. Forgot that.
Okay, cool, man. So I think that this is definitely a beneficial webinar. I like one of the questions Jermaine asked. He said, "Where's the question, Jermaine? Can you scroll down? The question I'm looking for. Go down. Who has or is struggling and making online?" And I think it's definitely a great gift to be transparent with yourself. And again, self-examination is a great tool of examining where you messing up at, where you need help at, and knowing where you need to increase at. Um, like I said yesterday, I was inside the airport, and I had like 2 or 3 hours before my plane left, and I was like, I wonder if I could come up with any new techniques with Facebook Resurrection. And so I was like, well, let's give it a try. So I came up with this technique, right? And literally in between 3 hours, I made $500 with this killer new technique that we just we're getting ready to be teaching tomorrow. And then it comes to find out, Jermaine was already doing the technique too just recently. And so it was like, man, wow, this thing is crazy. We're getting like 4 to 5 sales every time we do this, 5 to 7 sales. I was like, dude, let's just give it all the way out. And he was like, yeah, man, let's do it. So tomorrow on the webinar, we're going to be giving you guys, even at the basic level, what we're getting ready to teach you guys, it can really be charged $9.97 for. So if you haven't even bought the $47 one yet, you're going to want to get in before tomorrow so that you can get the teaching that we're going to give tomorrow. And again, I'd really say what we're going to teach tomorrow, you could really be charged $9.97 for, because it's tremendous value. It's amazing. It definitely works. Every time I've tried it so far, it's worked. I've seen Jermaine. He's been putting in work. He's been getting money from it. And literally, guys, just imagine if Jermaine, can you write in a question, how many of you guys, how many people want to make 2 to 3 sales a day? Let's just chime in there. How many people want to make at least 2 to 3 sales a day on Facebook? Doug said 10. Joe said I do. Becky said I do. Sean said for sure. Randy said Ford. Christopher, as many as possible. Kathleen, sure. All right, guys, tremendous feedback. Moving said I do. Darren works for me. All right, so here's what happens, guys. As I've been online, I've started to see people start to spread themselves thin, right? Meaning that people normally follow whatever's in today, right? So let's say last week it was Facebook Resurrection. This week it's something else. Next week it's going to be something else. And so they start to spread themselves so thin that they're everywhere at one time, right? They lose focus on where they first started at. So this new technique that we're teaching, you don't need necessarily no tool to do this. We're going to teach you strictly some crazy killer techniques that you can apply on Facebook that can get you the results that you want. Very, very simple, guys. And if you haven't even bought the basic yet, you're going to want to buy it now. And if you haven't got the upsell, you're going to want to get the upsell now. Why? One, because we lowered the price so that more people can be able to get it and understand. Two, we're adding in stuff, guys. It looks like we're adding something in almost every other week to FB Resurrection, again, because it's an ongoing cycle. So there's more and more value that you guys are getting. So just picture this. You pay $47, you pay $197, and as long as you pay that one-time fee, you're constantly going to get more and more value. You're there with no monthly charge. If you don't think that's amazing, then everything else probably isn't amazing either as well. But it's amazing that you're getting more and more value every time, no monthly charge, guys. I think that's fantastic. I'm excited for what we're going to teach tomorrow, because if I made $500 doing this and Jermaine's made massive amount of money doing it, I know that you guys can do the same. As far as where we're going at the end of the month, if you guys are in the San Diego area, or if you're in California and you don't mind driving, I don't know if you're in Phoenix or you're towards, the Bay Area, we're actually going to be doing a live event, right? Starting February 27th through March 3rd. And it's called the I Make Noise live event, hosted by Affiliate Beast Mode. Guys, this event is going to be monstrous, and let me tell you why. A lot of times, some people need hands-on training. Me, I'm a visual learner, so I can see something, I can apply it. But sometimes some people just need hands-on training, right? They need to be side by side to be able to get to where they need to get to. So here's what's amazing about this event. You're going to be hanging with me, Cater, Mr. CEO Traffic Bananas, Mr. Lee Monster Steel, my boy Nicholas Breen, who did 10K a day, who was really massive at launching products on the Warrior Forum. You're going to be with some of us, and we're going to be teaching and giving you the inside scoop on everything that we do, guys. Most gurus, start to charge you a fee, and they only give you a little bit, but we're actually going to give it all to you. Let me show you how. We're going to do live campaigns. That means we're going to literally set our computers up in front of you on the screen. We're going to have the projector. We're going to actually set up things right in front of you. And this is the best part. We're going to use your links there that day at the house. So for 4 nights, 5 nights, you're literally going to be able to have your link put on a campaign in front of us, access as many questions as you want. You're going to be able to actually be able to pick our brains. Anything that you think of, we're going to answer. Here's the best part. You spend the money to get you to that event, right? Second part, you can make that money back in less than the days before you leave. That's incredible, guys. If you see us, doing $1,000 days, and some people are doing 30 sales a day, just picture with your links, you learning our campaigns, you watching us side by side, the money you can make just being there with the money that you made to invest. So I believe we got like 7 people already signed up. I know we only got room for like 3 or 4 more. I think it's $2,000, or you can pre-sell it yourself. You can sell it to somebody else, and you can even get a commission, as well as in a possible free stay as well. But it's something that you don't want to miss out on, guys. If you're into California, you're going to want to be in the mansion with us. I know you guys seen the pictures of us in Miami. We was there for 7 days. Tremendous, tremendous value. I'll give this short story. It was the first time I met Cater, and Cater gave me this insight on understanding the power of sale and understanding value. We was inside the house talking, and as time grows on, it was me, him, and Mike Williams, and I was excited to my boy Mike Williams. They was talking to me, and they started talking to me about the power of selling to people. There's something that's so powerful that comes from you when you actually give someone value. And so they started telling me about it, and I started understanding the power of sell more, because it's more than just looking at somebody as money, but it's also helping somebody else get value so that they can duplicate the same numbers that you've achieved. So they taught that to me, and immediately as we went out to eat on the Strip, and we was at this taco place, and I started to apply some things that they taught me. I put up a post, guys, and I added some words in that they showed me, like the psychology behind it. I made $1,000 while we were out eating. Everyone at the table in Miami seen it, that I made $1,000 while we were just literally sitting there eating. So these are the kind of things that happens at our masterminds. These are kind of breakthroughs that people get. As you guys can see the pictures here, we had artists come down. We had a professional videographer that flew all the way from Chicago that came down. You saw Jermaine Still leading the pack. These were the things that bring people breakthroughs, guys. And to actually be able to hang out with us for a low cost of $2,000, which is truly a low amount, you can literally go back home making $5K while you was with us. You never know. But the value that you're going to leave with, the breakthroughs that you're going to leave with, the mindset change that you're going to leave with is the most important part, guys. So if you want to get a part of that, I know we have like 4 seats left. Inbox me, myself, or Jermaine. That was us at the Ian event. Those are 2 twins. They'll be at the mastermind with us in New Orleans when we're at the next house. Guys, we just want to help you guys make money. We just want to see you guys become successful. We've already done what we can do. We've shown ourselves that we can be successful. It's time for us to give back and help other people get to where they need to get to. So with that being said, you're going to want to get the basic, the upsell, get on the webinar tomorrow. Let's rock out 2014. If you're in the area of California, meet us at the event. Let's make some goals. Let's help you guys hit them. And you never know, we might be coming to your city and your town next. Let go.
Nate, wow, powerful, man, powerful. Like I said, Nate's basically broke it down for you guys. I'm not gonna, get into elaborating on that extensively because I know there's people on here that want to hear about the contest. But once again, go ahead and just take advantage of FB Resurrection. I'm gonna tell you how you can get on tomorrow's webinar, and he basically just did. All right, get the basic, get the upsell, get both. You only need the basic to get this information because we didn't want to hold back, right? We don't want to say, well, you can only get it if you're in the Awaken. You can only get it if you're in the coaching. But we just want you guys to know that the value that's coming to the Awaken is gonna blow people's minds. A lot of people just say, well, FB Resurrection, it's all about software, right? And that's a good part of it. But we're telling you guys the things that we figured out, you could do manually. But once again, you could increase your productivity with the softwares, right? So it's kind of like, do you want to do it with the hammer, or do you want to do it with the nail gun, or as I call it, the hammer gun, right? So anyways, guys, just take action. go ahead and looks like I'm in the wrong group. Let me show up in the right place. All right. So go ahead and take some action. Buy the product today. What it's going to do for you is literally going to give you some hands-off leverage time so you can increase your productivity so that you can spend more time better understanding people, what they actually want and what they actually need so that you can go ahead and sell that to them. Right. So next thing I'm going to talk about is the contest. And Nate, you can chime in here if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, for the most part, these are the correct numbers. From the 3rd to the 10th, we had a contest, right? So I want to shout out to Cater to and Nate's gonna do a video tonight announcing the winners. Showing the screen and letting people know who's won. But I just want to give a quick shout out to Cater, Constance, Nick, who's that's actually his fiance's account, I believe. Katie Hunt, Mac, Cindy Bloom, who you just heard from earlier today. Bill and Shay, who's William Foley here. Um, top earners in our industry, along with some of these other people as well. Julius, top earner. Chris, top earner. I mean, these guys sell a lot of affiliate products, guys. So when I say top earner, Kenny Martinez. Guys, you just need to start with 50, 20, 50, $100 a day. Stop trying to look for the secret, right? Stop trying to look elsewhere and focus on what it is that we're actually all doing, right? So I was speaking to, I believe it was Mark earlier on the phone, and Mark and I have some very, very just killer conversations. And one of the things that we talked about was, in general, in our industry, sometimes people will dumb down a process, right? And like I was telling Mark, I said, yo, I'll be darned if you get me dumbed down, because I was, I made it to 60, 70 grand a year as a district manager, but in order to take my boss's job, I had to fit a certain criteria, right? And I'm not going to get into exactly what that was, but because maybe I didn't fit that certain criteria, although I knew a ton of stuff, I knew what to do, I had results, I knew my place, I couldn't take my boss's job, unless, God forbid something happened to him or he retired. And so I felt dumbed down, right? But there's people in the real world that are working a 9 to 5 job that are making $8 an hour, and the bosses or the team leaders or the shift supervisors or the managers are telling them, you can't be a manager because I am, or you can't be a shift supervisor because I am, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that on the internet, there's an equivalent of dumbing down that goes on, and we're sick of it. We're not going to dumb people down. We're going to, lift them up. We're going to edify them. We're going to help them get to that next level. So these are the type of people that we're interested in working with, guys. We work with everyone, whether you're making $20 a month or nothing, or you're homeless, or you're making $1 million a month. We work with all types of different people. The reason to bring this up is, don't let yourself be dumbed down that you can't make 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month, because you can, and we believe in that. So I'm gonna let you guys know right now. We're gonna close it out. I'm gonna bring Nate out one more time, and you guys know where we're headed. You guys know where we're going. The question is, are you gonna get in? Right? Are you gonna get in the car? So I'm gonna let Nate come in and close it out, guys. I just say buy FB Resurrection, take action, get the upgrade, and a lot of feedback in the chat thread. Let's see. The Facebook page, Doug, just scroll up and you'll see the Facebook page. But Nate, are you there? Let's see. I'm not sure if I muted. I might have muted him out. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just
I'm right here.
bring it home, Nate. Like I said, we've been on for about an hour now. Very killer webinar tomorrow. Once again, we're going to teach you guys how to take this leverage and automation, but more so productivity, and then how to better understand exactly what people want. And we're going to put the pieces of the puzzle together for you, exactly how to take a product and go and sell it. So if you're in, great. You're going to be on tomorrow's webinar. If you're not, Nate's going to tell you how to get in.
Awesome, guys. So like Jermaine said, you're going to take action. Whoever invited you here, you're going to want to get back with them, get their link, and get started right now, because the more you wait, the more late you become. So tomorrow is going to be a killer webinar, guys. I can't stress the fact that what we're about to teach tomorrow, I can't believe we're about to teach you for only $47. But again, it's all about giving your gift back to the community And I know people are saying, oh, all they're doing is software. It's not even about the software. The things that we're adding in here, you don't even need software to do. The things that we're getting ready to teach you is going to be things that other people won't teach you at all. So get started today, guys. If you don't have the upsell, you're going to want to get that as soon as possible before it goes back up to 277 because of the CPA thing, niching that we're teaching in there, because of things that we're getting ready to bring more to the table, that price is eventually going to go back up. So you want to get it now while it's 197. And other than that, guys, let's start making some noise. Shout outs to Julius, who just got an upsell sale while we was on this webinar. Shout outs to Cindy Bloom for winning the iPad. She was a monster and a beast during the contest. So was Constance and Nick and Cater with Cater with FBR last week. Cater did almost 20 sales every day, and he strictly just killed it when it's primary and everything. So just shout out to everybody who's bought it. If you guys haven't got in, get in now. So go back to your sponsor, go back to the person that brought you, get the link, click the link below. Don't think about it, get inside, and I'll see you on the other side. Also, guys, and if you're in the California area, you want to get to that event, if you know where I'm at, just add me on Facebook, and I'll see you guys in San Diego. Other than that, see you guys on Facebook. Peace.